I think there's a tremendous amount of runway in this rotation you're seeing in the market today. I mean, it goes well beyond just growth and value. It sort of speaks to a lot of the leadership that Bob Pisani was talking about. People are investing in disruption and innovation. I think these are very crowded, sexy names. I think there's a lot of room for the rest of the market to take hold. So in terms of the risks, though, while there is a tremendous amount of runway here, I think you have to be clear that things in markets don't go in straight lines. And if you look at the very near term, a lot of this rotation is predicated on the recovery story. Clearly, that's very tied to the virus. But as we know, over the next 3 or 4 months, you're not going to get a whole lot of visibility into the near-term trajectory of the recovery. In fact, it's likely to going to get a lot worse, according to the experts. So I think that you have to keep that in mind, is that there may be bouts of loss of confidence in this recovery, but we all know that as we look out a year or two, there's plenty of room for that recovery to gain hold.
Yeah, well, not just that, but Dan, I'm starting to hear more and more talk from people about, hey, maybe it could be the roaring 20s. Maybe we can kind of have light in our eyes and a spring in our step again and think about, getting back into normal sooner than we were hoping, especially as bad as the COVID numbers have been lately. So I totally take your point about how bad it's going to be in the near term. But for the market, if it's looking out a year or so, is the market just going to see through that, breeze through it, whatever you want to call it, and say, no, we're sticking with the reopening place because that's going to be the story over the next 18 months?
Well, certainly, I think if you step back and you sort of foreshadow what the performance of the market's going to be over that 6 to 12 month time horizon, I do think that you are going to see this continued leadership of these names take hold. But in the meantime, I don't think it's going to be a straight line. I don't think it's going to be smooth and steady, and I think it's going to come with. I think it's going to be very difficult at points in time for the market to look through the vast amounts of pain out there. I mean, we're talking about global deaths right now that are an all-time high. And we're very early in the season. So it's one thing to have, forget what your term was, bright and bushy-tailed eyes or whatever it is, when things are okay. But as more of your friends are losing their jobs, more of your family is at risk. I think that in the near term, I mean, you're just starting to see the U.S. follow Europe in terms of increasing lockdown. So I think we just have to be prudent and mindful. I think that you want to, you can still be an optimist, but you can still carry an insurance card.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.